Hello guys, it's Jeff Butler. Welcome back to the channel. And before we get into this video, I just want to give a few thoughts on yesterday's video, which is probably the most cursed video I've ever made and ever will make, simply because of the contents of it. I just want to say that I was really very pleasantly surprised by the comments. To be honest, I knew they were mostly going to be positive, but I was expecting like one or two, like, oh, you're a Nazi or whatever, or some brain dead comments. But surprisingly, everyone kind of got where I was coming from, and I think that's great. I'm pretty happy with my audience, and I'm pretty happy with how I did the overall video. I think it could have been done better. I did miss some details, like how most, if not all of the personnel came from like prisons. They were prisoners. I did put that in text and editing though. And also later they did forcibly recruit like Russians, Ukrainians, communist socialists into the unit. Which is like kind of weird. I don't know. That unit just has like a crazy freaking history, like super disturbing and just really messed up. But anyways, we'll put that in the rear view mirror now because we're not here for that. This is the Firefly Part 2 video. I finally built it. This is like the 4th or 5th Firefly I'm making at this point. I have like so many Firefly videos on my channel that it's like kind of ridiculous, and it kind of highlights how this is my favorite vehicle of World War II. This is pretty much the most powerful Sherman in terms of firepower, and I just think that's pretty cool. So anyways, just a brief overview of the history of the Firefly. Like, why does this thing even exist? Well, in 1943, as the British and us, the Americans, as we were pushing the Axis out of North Africa via Tunisia, Germany actually rushed down some Tiger I's. The British ran into them. They were tough to deal with, but they did deal with them. And they actually rushed down some 17-pounders, which is the cannon this tank has. They rushed them down to North Africa. They were in modified 25-pounder mounts, just so the British could have better capability against heavier armored tanks. And also, when the Soviets had the Battle of Kursk, they gave intel reports back to the British and to us, the Americans, so we knew of the Panther, we knew of the Tiger, we knew the specifications. And going up to D-Day, of course, pretty much most of the Allied armored divisions were composed of 75mm Shermans. And us, the Americans, we already knew about that, and we were like getting the 76 into the system, refitting Shermans with the T-23 turret. That's from like a different program, but with the 76. And the British, they did their own thing where they modified a Sherman to take the 17-pounder, which is this, the Sherman Firefly. And it's a pretty interesting story how they went about doing it. You should look it up because there's plenty of videos on it. But basically, they had to cut out the back of the turret here and put the radio in the back because the gun was much bigger. And they also had to mount it sideways just so it gave a better fit. And then when the British went into Normandy, they had the best anti-tank capability in their armored divisions dealing with the German tanks. And that was really fortunate because after D-Day and in the Normandy campaign, the British dealt with like a massive majority of the German armor around Caen. Like, they were just butting heads, and it was pretty crazy. And that thankfully allowed us Americans to kind of outflanked the Germans via Operation Cobra. That's the breakout, the American breakout. And then after that, the British kind of had a breakout of their own around Caen, and then there's the Falaise Pocket and all that stuff. But yeah, this is a pretty important tank. It's not really the best built, in my opinion. It's like pretty cramped inside if you look at actual videos. But it's just really important because it just gives the British armored units that critical coverage and that critical capability against other German tanks. And actually, Michael Wittmann, he got killed. It's alleged that he got killed by a Firefly, most likely. Although there's some claims that he was killed by a Piet. But who knows at this point? It doesn't really matter. But yeah, the build itself here, this is a 9-wide Sherman. I think for the first time I actually got these applique side armor plates. So there's just more detail there. Looks pretty awesome. Also the hatches, if I can open it here. Oh, come on, you bastard. Yeah, so the hatches here do open, so you can put a driver there. There's also one for the bow gunner, but I'm not going to open it because a crewman is not supposed to be there. Because they just put extra ammunition in this spot right here. And they also removed the bow machine gun just for extra ammo. And also the commander's hatch can also open, but I'm not going to do that because I'm pretty lazy. And we'll go ahead and close this back up. That's kind of like whenever I build tanks, I always try to get working hatches in because they're relatively simple, not too hard to do. But I never try on actual interiors because that's just too limiting for me. Like, you got to do a lot to get actual interiors, and you have to make the vehicle bigger and stuff. But yeah, anyways, here, let me pause this. All right, I'm back. So I just put some minifigs around it, and all of these guys are related to the Firefly. So these 4 guys here, that's the crew. The Firefly had a crew of 5. Regular Shermans had a crew of... no, excuse me. The Firefly had a crew of 4. Regular Shermans had a crew of 5. And the Firefly has a crew of 4 because of the deleted position here that I just talked about. This guy's the tank commander, and then who knows what the other 3 guys are. And then these other guys right here, there's 2 infantry and 1 military police. And they would just kind of, be supporting the armor and stuff like that. I don't know, just want to show off these figs because I have no life. But yeah, pretty cool. Not sure what else to say, but I do want to do a quick comparison of stuff. Alright, so I just want to point out one thing that I'm most happy about this model, and if you look at the front here, I managed to get these ridges, so that's pretty freaking awesome. And also, if you look at kind of the transition here from the front slope to the top, I think it's just like really smooth. And also there's like a half plate transition here, which is also really nice, and I'm just really happy with. So I get that just really seamless 56 degree, or in this case 60 degree slope. But yeah, it's super nice. And the turret here, and also this is not printed. This is simply just like paper and tape. And you can make this pretty easily yourself. And the reason why the British kind of did this this art pattern on the end of their barrel is so that this could look like a 75 Sherman. Because allegedly German tankers would target Fireflies first, which kind of makes sense. you know, usually the tank with the bigger cannon poses a bigger threat. So that kind of makes sense, but there's not really any strong evidence to suggest that. But yeah, here's the figs. We'll just take them away here for a second. And also, just a quick shout out to Valiant Bricks here. This is a really, really nice Brody helmet, netted Brody helmet. And also, this is Forest Moon Bricks, by the way. So yeah, super nice. And also, this guy is like one of my favorite favorite British figs. And also a bonus build here. This is a British motorcycle. This is what the military police would ride. The military police basically just follows behind the army, and they do two things. Number one, they help pacify conquered territory, and number two, they help keep the army in check. Because when you have a large group of conscripted men, like you know shit's gonna go down. So it's just good to have a internal police force to help keep everything orderly. But yeah, this guy would just kind of be chilling with the army. And then also, let me zoom out the camera here, and we'll take the bike away. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Just to highlight the size comparison between an M4A4 and an M4. The Sherman Firefly here is a M4A4 chassis, and then here is a regular M4. And hopefully, here, let's do it like this. I just want to highlight the length difference. Okay, yeah, so you can easily see this. So the M4A4 here is longer, simply because it uses a different engine, which requires a longer engine bay to hold. So yeah, pretty cool. And also another comparison here, and I think, yeah, I already showed this one off before. This is my Sherman Firefly 1C. This is basically a composite whole Sherman. The British also converted on this specific chassis, and you know, to be honest, this thing is like kind of outdated at this point. It still looks good, but I think the front can like definitely be done better, and also I need to update the turret and stuff, and I also need to update the rear. But overall, it still looks fine, to be honest. But you know, the new one definitely looks much better. But yeah, that's just a quick comparison there. Let me kind of hopefully zoom in here, and we'll just kind of do this. And yeah, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Yeah, I'll trying to think if I need to say anything else. Nah, I think that's it. Anyways, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.